you love working with pattern paper, but not so much like all the scraps it tends to leave behind? Hi, I'm Jess from JessCrafts.com, and I'm here to help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So let's get making. Today I have a card sketch that will show you how to use one 6x6 piece of paper to make two 5x7 cards with no scraps. I know this is not the most popular size, but I do know a lot of people love 5x7 cards, and I do want to share some ideas with them as well. So today we are working with the Violet Studio Fall into Autumn collection. This collection was provided to me from scrapbook.com. You all know that I love to shop at scrapbook.com. I have many of their exclusive products, and there are always affiliate links to them in the video description because that's where I shop. So I am going to work with the 6x6 paper pad. I don't know if I'm going to work with the stamps. It was all part of an essentials kit. There was the metallic paper, which is really quite pretty. And it's thinner metallic paper, so I think that will make it easier for die cutting. And it's matching my nails pretty good right now. And then the stamps, dies, washi tape, I believe all comes in that essentials kit. And then separately, you can purchase the pattern paper or these wooden embellishments and felt embellishments. Now, if you're watching this video on the day that it comes out, August 3rd, 2023, and maybe a day or two afterwards because sometimes they last longer, this Fall into Autumn 6x6 paper pad is free with your order. So check the video description for the links, get that coupon. Well, it's not a coupon code, but go to the coupon page, check the terms and conditions and all that. But this should be free today on August 3rd. So this sketch shows me that I want to cut out these 2x2 squares and that they don't have mats. And then I'm going to cut a 2x3 and it does require a mat. And I'm going to decide whether or not I want to use that metallic paper for the mat because I think that could be really pretty. I do think I want to pick one of the pattern papers that doesn't have a lot of white space in the background. Like maybe this bolder one that has the blue background, because I think it'll really pop off well on that white card. So it'll make a statement in of itself. The fact that it doesn't have mats will be fine. That one, I don't know, it's a little too simple for me. I also like that there's a little bit of white here in the mushrooms. It's not a super bright white, but it kind of pulls in the card there. The pumpkins would be really cute too, although I think I'm leaning towards this other one just because I like it better. Although I personally love dark blue with warm colors. Like navy blue is probably my favorite color right now. Hasn't always been the case. This one, love the navy blue, but a little less detailed. So yeah, let's just go with that one. Okay, the sketch tells me that I want to cut them to 2x6 inch rows. And then one of my 2x6 inches gets to cut to 2x3. And the other two are just 2x2 squares. The most challenging part of this sketch is probably going to be trying to evenly space those 2x2 squares down the left-hand side of the card. I think I probably do want to use the metallic for the mat here. I think it'll really help it to pop a bit more. Maybe I'll do a larger mat than usual too. I usually only do a 1/4 inch mat, but I could make it a little bit bigger to make it stand out. Now, when you're working with something like this, you could intentionally pick the papers that line up together. So, see that those two were obviously cut right next to each other, and then put the spaces between them. Or you can choose to pick ones that clearly don't match up. I think this is the third one. I kind of tend to like the ones that don't match up, but I know some people also like that idea that it gives you a sort of continuous look with the gaps in it. So just kind of something to think about when you are making choices like that and you're using something like a paper busting template where you're cutting things very specifically. And so then this, I think it would look best if it overlaps a little bit with these squares. You could, of course, just put it next to it. If you feel like that's the layout for you, you can even skip the mat around it. I think I want to go with the mat and maybe make it even a little bit bigger to give this piece a little bit more of a substantial look on the page. Here it is with that shiny 1/4 inch mat. I like that. I think gives it a little bit more of a substantial look. So instead of doing 2¼ I just did 2½ by 3½ instead of 3¼ And then to finish off this card, I went to my scrapbook.com exclusive sentiments. I am such a sucker for word dies. Easily the largest category of my dies is word dies. So I picked out this thanks because I think that that's like easily I could use it for Thanksgiving or just as like a general thank you card for this season. And I'll use my mint tape to glue that or to tape that down temporarily, run it through my die cut machine. So of course I don't want to lose any of the pieces. This thanks die cuts an outline and then the individual letters. I cut one from the metallic. Usually when I cut something like this metallic piece, I want to make a good use of the paper, so I will die cut something out of the center. My sentiment today didn't fit in the center, but you could totally just pick like hearts or something to cut out of the center if you feel like you're being a little bit wasteful of that a little bit more expensive metallic paper. And I put the die cuts in my scrapbook.com trays for safekeeping, and I can reverse them, which is nice. So if I cut, I can get 2 sentiments out of it. I'm going to put down the blue outline, and then I'm going to fill it in with the sort of, I guess it's a rose gold. I don't know. It looks kind of coppery to me. Rose gold was invented after I was cool, so I don't really quite know what it is. I don't think that's quite it. And so I'm going to use my Barely Art glue. Scrapbook.com now carries Barely Art glue, making it like basically, like, I mean, Scrapbook.com is like one-stop shopping. Anything you need for crafting, you'll find it there. Add it to cart. They have so much of their own exclusive stuff, but then they also have like all the brands you can think of. If there's ever a brand that you wish they carried and they didn't, let them know. I feel like they're always adding new brands. They're always open to hearing from their customers about what you guys want to see. And I'm just going to go through with that fine tip, lightly trace it. I promise I won't show you every step of gluing. I know it is just not that interesting, but I want to make sure that I glue this down fairly, not just straight, but also without warping. I think that can be sometimes a challenge of outline dies, is that you can accidentally pull the letters out of shape. So then I will use this to help me fit in all of my individual pieces. Now, because this paper and this is a metallic paper, not a cardstock, everything's pretty even across. If you had used some thicker cardstock, you might want to somehow kind of prop up this. So you might want to glue it all down and then put some foam tape behind it or something. But this is just not something I particularly have to worry about with this thinner design. And as you can see, this is also the blue cardstock that I chose from my stash is also on the thinner side, so it has kind of the same profile as the metallic paper. I personally like to just put the glue inside the like well of the letter that's left, rather than trying to trace the glue onto the letter. I find sometimes, especially with a thinner piece of paper, I have a tendency as I'm holding it, even though I'm trying to be careful, to accidentally crinkle it. So this is my way of reducing that risk. It occurs to me, I probably haven't even told you yet, that you can find this paper busting template at jesscrafts.com. There's going to be a link in the video description at the very top so you can download this template so you know exactly how to cut everything. You don't have to remember it. It's a pretty simple sketch this time, pretty simple measurements, but just so you know. And I have all the materials to make a second card. I have my pattern paper cut. I even, in this case, because of the nature of that scrapbook.com die, have all the materials for my second set of words. I can just reverse it and use the gold outline and then the letters inside if I think that works well. If you found this video helpful, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community. Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.